Here he is, the one, the only...
Howdy, howdy. What have you got lined up for me here tonight?
We have the duck, of course, with a secret word on it.
Oh, well.
Would you bring the duck down?
Bring it down.
And if any of our couples say the secret word, they win an extra $100.
In addition to whatever else they may have.
Right.
Well, that's very generous of us, don't you think so?
Groucho, Martha Mirror, and Bill Travilla are standing by. So, folks, come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word. Martha Mira and Bill Travilla, huh? Does that rhyme with
Travilla?
gorilla?
No,
huh?
no. Noel pronounced.
Travilla rhymes
Travilla,
with gorilla.
Noel pronounced.
What is it?
Travilla, Noel pronounced.
Well, that's ridiculous. You wouldn't say gorilla, would you?
Of course you would.
If you were driving a gorilla, you'd say, I saw the biggest gorilla in the zoo. That's preposterous. There's no L in your name, huh? Well, no L to you, huh? Is that what it is?
Thank you.
And a happy St. Swithin's Day while you're up there.
Thank you again.
And your name is Martha Mira, huh?
That's right, Groucho.
Is it really Mira?
It's really Mirror.
Well, mirror, mirror on the wall. I'll bet you and your husband are having a ball. And they say poetry is dead in this country, huh? How long have you been looking at this mirror?
It's going to be 21 years.
Boy. You're not old enough to have been married 21 years.
Well, I'll give you the statistics.
Yeah.
I'm 37 years old now. I have 6 children ranging from 1.5 to 20.
Ranging where?
Well, they're all over the place, all over the range. And I have 2 grandchildren. One of my grandchildren is just 10 weeks younger than my own baby.
How old are your kids?
1.5, 3, 13, 16, 18, and 20.
That's amazing. It's unusual, too. How do you explain the 10-year drought between 13 and 2.5?
Very simply.
What?
We moved to the suburbs, and you've got to have babies in the suburbs.
That's very
Part
interesting.
of the lease.
Most people, when they go to the suburbs, they get a station wagon and settle for that.
We got that, too.
Oh. Now, you're Bill Gorilla, huh?
Noel.
Noel. Well, Noel to you, too, and a Merry
Thank you.
Christmas. Now, where are you from, Bill?
Avalon, Catalina Island.
Now, why do you say Catalina and you don't say Travilla? Catalina, why don't you say Catalina?
All right, over at Catalina.
Yeah. Were there any gorillas over there?
There might have been up way back.
Yeah. What were your folks doing over there?
My grandmother was running a curio shop, the children being all swimmers and having fun and trying to find a way to have fun and make money. My father became a diver for the glass bottom boat. I later, following his footsteps, became a diver also for the glass bottom boat.
You were a junior diver?
I was a full-fledged diver, and I would go into the kelp gardens, dive 30 feet beneath the boat.
Yeah.
I would eat a banana and an apple, do a few somersaults, and then pick up an abalone shell, bring it to the surface.
What kind of baloney was this?
This was an abalone. And it
Well, what kind of a baloney is an abalone?
This is a shellfish.
Oh, it's not a baloney.
Oh, no.
Why do they call it why don't you call it a abalone?
I do. It's an abalone.
Oh. And all the gorillas eat these abalones?
All the gorillas at Catalina eat abalones.
It's a lovely life, really, if you leave the L out of everything, huh? After you gave up your career as a diver, what did you do then, Bill?
Well, let's see. I started to play. I went down to Mexico. I did a little hunting, like alligators and ocelots and little wildlife.
And now, what is your profession now?
Now I'm a dress designer.
Well, that's logical. A man eats bananas underwater, hunts alligators and ocelots, and what else could he be now but a dress designer? It's a natural sequence. You're one of those operators that each year lowers the skirts and raises the prices, huh?
I'm afraid so.
Now, what do you get for your dresses so I'll know where we stand?
In the store, a moderate price of from $200 to $1,200.
That's
a lot of money for a dozen dresses.
That's for one dress, Groucho.
$1,200 for one dress?
But a very beautiful dress.
Now, who are some of the celebrities that you've designed for, Bill?
Well, I have dressed Joanne Woodward, Greer Garson, Lauren Bacall, Marilyn Monroe, Gene Tierney. In fact, just about any lovely, beautiful screen star that you might mention.
You dressed all of those tootsies. Hey, you don't need a partner, do you?
I have a partner, but there's always room for more.
Is there?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever won any awards for design?
Yes, I have the Oscar, the Academy Award. I won this in 1950. And I also hold 3 Academy nominations.
Well, then I better call you by your right name, which is Bill Travilla. Travilla is the way you pronounce it?
Travilla.
Travilla. Is
Thank
that
you.
Spanish or?
It's actually Italian.
Italian?
Yes.
Well, let's return to the suburban life. Now, you say you've been married for how long? 18 years,
No,
huh?
not 18, 20 years.
20 years.
21, now you've got me all confused. 21 years.
Have you ever heard of Mr.
Oh,
Travilla?
yes, and admired his things. They're beautiful.
Don't you admire him, too?
I
Don't
sure
you think
do.
he's a very attractive man?
Very, very attractive.
Steady now. You've got a 20-year-old kid, you know.
I know.
I'm sure our female listeners would be interested in a few fashion tips from an expert like Mr. Travilla. Would you object, Martha, if Bill analyzed your outfit?
No.
I mean, from the outside?
But I've got a secret. It
You
does
have?
not cost $250 a gross, I don't think.
Well, it's a very attractive outfit. Of course, I'm speaking impersonally. I'm not an
No,
expert
no,
on this
I-
subject.
I'd appreciate
Bill,
it.
what is your reaction to Martha's gown? Martha, Martha, dear.
Let me say first that I'm pleased to see that,
But
you
she's
have,
got some clothes on.
that you have clothes on. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that
There's
you
nothing, really.
and that your shoes are coordinated with your dress, not being another color, keeping a long line. I would suggest that you shouldn't wear as wide of a waistband. True, by
It's
being
a cummerbund, isn't it?
It's also me.
it is doing
Which part is you and which is the cummerbund? Huh?
it is doing 2 things. True, it makes the waistline look smaller by being dark, but by being such a definite dark contrast, it is cutting your height. I would suggest maybe a little closer value in the middle to keep a longer, slimmer, tall look.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to go home and burn the dress.
And I might say that I
I
think your
wouldn't
hair
do
is
that.
very pretty.
Thank you.
I wouldn't get another husband. That's...
No, you don't burn this dress.
No?
No, this is a lovely dress. Just change this to a little lighter tone
Fine,
so that it
thank
won't
you.
cut you as much.
Thank you. I
Isn't it
appreciate
great
that.
how quickly an expert analyzes
Just
something?
wonderful.
I'm very much interested in this.
Are you?
This would never occur to me. You know, I wouldn't. How about some of you girls in the audience? Are there a couple who would like to have Mr. Travilla analyze your clothes? Gal back there, and why don't you go out and pick them out yourself?
A little lady way up there in a blue suit, I believe, standing.
Here, Groucho, a little information on the young lady that Mr. Travilla has selected.
Let's see. You are Mrs. Josephine Locascio, is that right? And you're a secretary? Well, you're very attractive. Bill, why don't you take over?
Artie, how tall are you?
5'1".
That is a tiny little girl that wants to be tall. First of all, I love the color on you. It's a lovely shade. Your skin is pretty and pink. And
He's
color.
full of the old baloney, this guy is.
Well, I want to be very nice.
It's the abalone, I think.
And it is a pretty sweater.
Yes, it is. Yes.
But I'd like to see you wearing a little shorter skirt
And a tighter sweater?
and not a tighter sweater.
No, I'm talking for myself now. We're in a different business, you know.
Oh, this is true. No, which way shall I go?
Yeah, but you stick to your trade, and I'll stick to mine.
May I stand back just a moment?
Yes, you
Be able
may.
to see you. All right. I like the idea of a one-tone up and down. If it were possible to, not in this outfit, no, but if it were possible to keep your shoes a little closer into the coloring of your overall picture, you would keep one color all the way through. But now that you have the darker shoes, it would be very nice if you had continuation of color as a little hat on top of your head. Then the eye would see from the hemline to the top of your head, which is a longer line than from hem to shoulder. And if you didn't have as high of a neckline, this would give you length to your neck, again achieving a longer look, which is the one line that you should try for.
Well, I'm taking a longer look right now. Well, is that clear to you now?
Yes.
Now, the next time you go out, you remember what this man said,
Yes, I
because
will.
he's an expert, and he usually gets an enormous salary for doing this, and he's doing this just for me because he happens to be crazy about me. I'm not sure that I blame him. Now, you can go now.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming down here for this analysis.
You know, Groucho, this evening, when I came in to the stage here, I noticed a young woman dressed very beautifully. I'd like if I could just take a moment, because she's just backstage, and I'd like to show her to you.
Oh, I'd love to see her. If there's anything
Thank
I'd
you.
love to see is a beauty.
And this is my wife, Donna.
Oh, pleased to meet you, Donna.
May I also tell,
I wish I
You-
could be a donor to Donna, that's what.
may I tell you and possibly the ladies of the audience of what she is wearing?
Well, it's a dress, isn't it?
A very expensive, very lavish dress made of 14-karat gold and silver brocade on silk satin.
It's a beautiful dress, and it's an artistic creation. Now, you've been in the movies, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? In what pictures have you been in?
Oh, I don't work anymore.
You don't work anymore?
No,
Well,
I stay home.
when you did work, under what name did you sail?
Donna Drake.
Oh, Donna Drake, we used to call it, huh?
Donna.
Yes. Well, you may call it Donna.
One N.
Yes.
Like, forget the L.
Well, I remember that name very well.
Thank you.
You had quite a career in the movies. Why'd you quit? Just got bored with it?
Oh, we have a little girl, and I stay home with her mostly.
Well, I have a little girl, and I haven't stayed home with anybody. Well, let's play You Bet Your Life. George, would you please bring in the questions?
Thank you, Donna.
Thank
You have a very beautiful wife, and I'm sorry that she didn't wear a shorter dress. Did you see his wife?
Oh, she's
Isn't
lovely.
she cute?
No, I remember her from the movies. She's
So do I.
wonderful.
I even remember Mama. Now, what category have they chosen?
Complete the name, right?
Complete the name is George Fenneman, isn't it?
Good going.
Yes. I'm leaving now. Huh? You understand how you play this
Yes,
game?
yes, sir.
Well, put it out here so
All right.
no I'll see it. Huh? No, I don't think it's yours.
Oh, any particular
Whatever.
price
You get
range?
4
Whatever you
chances to
would
win $500.
Let's start
That's
in
the
the middle.
whole idea.
$200 to start with, right?
All right, the first names are Mary Roberts. What is the last name?
Reinhardt.
You now have $200 and 3 more chances to make $500. So we're going for $300 this time.
Don't you feel that money inching towards you already? The first names are John Singer. What was the last name?
No, I'm not.
John Singer.
I don't know, Groucho.
And I don't know.
You should know,
I should.
because it's allied with your profession. John Singer Sargent, famous painter.
Well, you still have 2 more
Well,
chances
you
to
have
make
2 more
$500, and you already have $200, so...
Well, then maybe we should try up here.
That's what we just did. Look
Oh,
what
did you?
happened.
Oh.
Well, I don't care. Go ahead.
Well, the 300 are tougher than the 2, of course, and...
Well, let's give it
Figures.
The first names are Peter Ilyich. What's the last name?
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky is right.
And you have $500 and 1 more chance, so you're in the big money already. And this one is for $200.
200. The first names are Alfred Emanuel. What is the last name? It's been in the news recently, too, in a kind of a posthumous manner.
I know. I just can't. I should be in my living room now. I'm brilliant in my living room.
I should be
Well, we can wait if you want to go home.
I don't know, Groucho.
Well, it's Alfred Emanuel Smith, who ran for president of the United States in
goodness sake.
1928 and was defeated by
My home
Herbert.
state.
He was defeated by Hubert Heber. Herbert Hoover.
Well, you've won yourselves $500, which means, of course, you'll be back for a chance at $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000 later in the show.
Goodbye. It was nice to meet
So I'd like to introduce Sarita Heredia and Charles Galaki, I guess
you. Well,
it is,
I'd
or
be glad to
Galachi.
spar with them.
Folks, come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word, and you get an extra $100 between you. That's fair, isn't it?
Very fair.
Don't you think that's fire?
Fine.
Now, what kind of an outfit do you call that?
Oh, I have a traje gitano.
What?
traje gitano, flamenco outfit. It's from Spain, from Granada.
Oh.
That's where it was made.
Well, what kind of a dress is it? That
What?
isn't a customary Spanish outfit, is it?
Well, it's the one the gypsies use, yes,
Gypsies?
in Spain. The Spanish gypsy costume.
Spanish gypsy? Are you a gypsy?
Yes, sir.
You're Sarita Heredario, is that right?
Sarita Heredia.
Sarita on the radio. What are you on television?
Sarita Heredia is my name.
You say your name, will you?
Sarita Heredia.
That's it.
Sarita.
And your name is Charles Kalaki, yeah?
Kalachi.
You say his name, huh?
Kalashi.
Heredia.
Ah, well, yes. He's trying to be gypsy, you know.
When did you come to the United States?
When I was 6 years old, and then I came back.
You've been
when-
wearing that outfit since you're 6 years old?
Well,
I guess
practically.
you just grew into it now, huh?
Oh, yes, sort of. I came back when I was 17.
You went back to Spain when you were 17?
Went back to Spain when I was 17, and
Yeah.
then I came back when I was 25.
Well, what did you do when you went back to Spain the last time?
Well, I met my husband, and I got married there.
You
I had
did?
2 children.
Where did you meet your husband, Sarita?
I met him in Granada, in a cave. It sounds funny, but... but if you
What
wanna
was he
come-
doing in a cave?
Well, he was living in a cave there.
It was...
As
And you
I
crawled
was
in to
also.
see him?
I
You
didn't-
must have been desperate, huh? Wasn't there anybody
No.
around in a
Oh, well,
hotel?
he was living in a cave there and also working, dancing there, and as I was also.
He was dancing in a cave?
You know, dancing for the tourists and all that, the American tourists that go
They
there.
come in the cave and watch him
Oh,
dance?
yes, and I was working there too.
And you were in there?
Not in that cave, in another cave, you know.
You were in a competitive cave, you were?
Yes, that's right.
Was he concave or was he built the other way? Your name is Charles Kalaki, eh?
Yes, Groucho.
That's a very unusual name, too. You say you're married?
I am.
How did you meet your wife? Were you standing in front of your cave watching all the girls go by?
Not exactly. I was in college at the time, and so was she, and she wanted to learn...
College where?
Boston, Emerson College.
Oh.
Fine school. Here, here. Yeah, very good. Wonderful school. And,
Somebody out there from Rutgers, I think. Why did you go to Emerson when there were so many more illustrious colleges in New England, like Harvard and Yale and
well, gee whiz, the GI Bill of Rights paid, and they gave me a choice, and I selected Emerson because it's an excellent school for radio, television, and speech arts.
Oh, I see.
And I was interested in...
And that's what you do now? You're a radio artist? Actor?
No, I'm educational TV director.
Oh.
A producer.
What do you mean, educational TV? Do you mean you want to educate the people? Or wouldn't
Well-
it be better to just leave them the way they are?
Right now, I'm in Anaheim. We just 3 months ago set up a closed-circuit television system for the kids in the Anaheim elementary schools, about 17 schools, and...
Well, why don't the kids stay home and look at it?
Oh, they need direction and guidance. This is where our program for direct teaching is somewhat unique. We have a classroom teacher and the studio teacher who are partners.
You think a teacher should be allowed to kick a student in the bum-bum, like one did yesterday in some school? This kid
Well-
was bigger than the teacher, you know.
Some of them have to be pushed
Yeah.
down, yes.
Well,
yes,
do you have
and,
any equipment in the school, like a baseball bat or anything?
Our state law doesn't allow us to hit them except in self-defense.
Oh, I see. Well, I think that's fair. Now, Charlie, do you appear
Yeah.
personally on your educational network?
Not here in Anaheim. I'm directing and producing now, but I did for 3 years an educational open circuit, Channel 7 in Oregon and Channel 9 in San Francisco.
Uh-huh. Well, did you think that they benefited anything by this TV
Oh,
teaching?
yes. Well, I personally had a speech improvement show for kids. I was called Choo Choo Charlie. Had a engineer's cap on and did jingles, games, stories.
How old were these kids, around 18, 19?
Well, no, I was surprised to find that the kids from 3 years old up to 8 would be very fascinated and follow very closely this series that we
But what
had
did you
done.
do as Jing Jing Charlie?
Choo Choo Charlie.
Choo Choo
Yeah,
Charlie.
Choo Choo.
You were never Jing Jing Charlie, huh?
No, no. No, Choo Choo Charlie.
I think Jing Jing Charlie is a much nicer name than Choo Choo Charlie.
Well, that
And
reminds...
then you don't get in trouble with the Railroad Commission either this way.
Well, this reminds me, one of the things I used to do to get the kids familiar with the teacher
and the speech
You
development.
blow a railroad whistle when you come in the room or something?
No, just give them a little jingle. For example, anybody can do it. You too. Just chew.
Oh, I don't think I could do it.
Just chew while I sing a little song such as...
I chew? That's pretty revolting, but I'll try it. Huh?
It's good for the lips. That's right. Chewing gum, how I love chewing gum.
Oh, wait, let's start together.
All right, together.
This is after 13 years on television. Look what I'm reduced to here. Huh? Oh, wait a minute, I'm not ready yet.
I'm setting the tempo.
Blow the whistle now, right?
My mom gave me a nickel to buy a pickle. I didn't buy the pickle. I bought some chewing gum.
Well, if you ever wondered what was the matter with American education, I think you know. Do you have a job, Sarita, or you just sit around the house all day in this outfit and dust the furniture?
I'll tell you, like the gypsies do in Spain, you know, the women, they clean and do everything all day, and then after they go out and play the guitar, they sing and they dance.
Oh, well, I imagine you'd like to do a dance for us, and I'm sure it'd be a good one, but we're a little short of time right now, so maybe it'd be better if you come back next week and bring your guitar with you.
Muy bien.
Can
My
you
pleasure.
do that?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, well. Would you be willing to wait until next week to play the quiz?
I'd be happy to.
Would you be willing
Yes,
to come
sure.
back and play the quiz next week?
Yeah, fine.
Good. All right. And if you'll both come back next week, maybe you'll win a lot of money. Perhaps you won't, but, you know.
Maybe we will.
Well, arrivederci.
Adios.
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 See you next week.
So that means that our first couple will get a chance to win up to $10,000 in just...
All right, George, here's the big question. Who's going to try for the big money?
Martha Mirror and Bill Trevilla won $500, so they're coming back in for a chance at $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Now, you understand this? You pick a number from 1 to 10.
8.
That's for $10,000. Now, you pick a number from 1 to 10 for $5,000.
7.
7. 8 and 7. They're going to be very chummy, those two, aren't they? If any other number comes up, this question is worth a total of $2,000. Clear? Now, one of you spin the horizon. Hear that mournful note from the orchestra out there?
Are we wealthy?
Your numbers were 7 and 8, and it came up 10, so this question is worth $2,000 total if you catch it. Modern boxing rules are based on those first set down by an Englishman in 1865. For a total of $2,000, by what name are these rules of boxing known? Talk it over.
Is it
What is it?
Queensberry, Marcus of Queensberry?
That's right, Marcus of Queensberry rules. God bless. Hey, it's lights out there. Don't you know his wife is standing out there?
She's very sweet, too.
She's very intelligent and sweet.
Oh, well, that's
That's a
right.
smart
You
girl.
say very few women would know that. How did you know that? Are you a boxing fan?
Oh, yeah, when you have 2 boys in the house, you have to know a little bit of sports,
Well, the
too.
mere fact that they slug it out at home doesn't necessarily mean that you have to know who the Marcus of Queensberry was. Well, you wonder, what are you going to do with all that money? Your
Well-
share of it.
As much as I'd like to get a Trevilla gown, I'm afraid I'll have to put it towards the children's college fund.
Well, I think that's a better purpose, despite the fact that his gown could do, nothing. Forget it. Congratulations, and thanks for coming up there.
Thank you, Groucho.
Thank you.